Whew. I know. That thumbnail is jacked up. What in the world was the picture being taken of? That was the craziest thing. I'm gonna redo it after this live, but welcome in. Oh, my face is so dry right now. And I just wanted to come on here. I didn't come live yesterday morning. I am really, really tired today. Yesterday was long and a lot, and I will definitely go into all that went into yesterday, probably tomorrow. I just need to like relax a little bit right now. But I am on here to wish all of my line sisters. It was 18 disorderly. So let me tell you, first of all, 36 years ago today, I was 19 years old. And I was a sophomore at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, the first degree granting HBCU in this country. And I really enjoyed my experience at Lincoln. I had a great time, met some lifelong friends, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience all around. And 36 years ago, uh, I remember exactly what dorm I lived in. It was called Lucy Laney Hall, and myself and my one of my dearest friends, I actually grew up with her. Her name is Debbie. We were roommates and we lived in Laney Hall together. But my sophomore year in October, right after homecoming, I had went to a rush and put in my information, my letters, my application to be part of the pledge period for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and that was in October of 1988. And in February of 1989 is when 18 of us crossed the burning sands together. And pledging Delta back then, that experience was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. The beauty of it is that I didn't do it alone. I did it with 17 other remarkable young women who to this day are some of the most dynamic, powerful, successful, beautiful from the inside out women I have ever encountered. And we came together and said, you know what? We're going to do this damn thing together, all of us. And we did. And it was a huge accomplishment and something that I'm still proud of to this day. And today is our 36th anniversary, our 36th Deltaversary. 36 years ago, we crossed those burning sands into Delta Sigma Theta land. And this is the most prestigious sorority in the nation, in the world. And I'm just proud to be part of it and to have gone through the initial stages with those 17 other women. And to this day, we are all still connected, still close. Unfortunately, I live far away from the majority of them. It's myself and another that live probably the furthest away. And, we stay connected via text mostly, but, we are still connected. That's the thing. And every time, I promise you, y'all, mm, just talking about it right now is starting to fill me, Um, every time, let me see who's in the chat. I see Monkey of Luffy. Hello to you. Welcome in. And I can't read the other name. Let me see if I can get closer. CR Bass Productions. Welcome in, welcome in. Y'all, I was about to start crying low key. Y'all don't even understand. Our pledge period was very, very challenging. And to this moment, if I encounter a challenging thing in life, especially, in my professional life, I'd be like, y'all, I pledged. Like, this ain't nothing. I pledged. I either, equate something challenging to it's nothing like pledging, or it's nothing like living with or seeing someone live with and taking care of someone who has lived with ALS. I always said, this ain't ALS. Is this ALS? A disease that has no cause or cure. This is not pledging. This is not as hard as pledging. Food deprived, sleep deprived, all that. But y'all, every time I even think that I am, or I'm in the process, I'm going towards, thank you for those hearts and the laughter, I know. Thank you, I appreciate that. Every time I know I'm going to encounter my line sisters, I get so filled with emotions, and I just can't help myself, and I just start to cry. I love them so much. And I'm not the type that would have a whole gang of friends, like especially female friends. I have good friends, absolutely. I have a huge circle that's spread throughout the country for sure. But in terms of being with a full group of women for a long period of time, that's just not how I rock. Like I said, I always, was part of organizations, especially in high school and such, and um, always knew a lot of people. But my core group has always been 2 to 4 people. That's it. That's who I rock with. That's how I roll. Enough to fit in a car type of thing. But when I pledged, and I found myself every day for many weeks prior to pledging to, underground was no joke, and that's not how they pledge now. So, thankfully things have changed. But yeah, to know that I can, be part of a group of women, and we all have the same common goal, which was to, you know, complete the process and do it successfully without any major complications or, any challenges amongst ourselves, was remarkable. And that experience let me know that I could overcome, I could do anything, and I am a collaborator. And I'm just so grateful for them. And they're all so different. We're all so different. And that's the other beauty of it, is that we have so many different backgrounds, personalities, life experiences, and but we all are still the same at the same time. But I love them so much. And if any of them are watching this, live or in replay, just know that. And I'm hopeful that some of them do watch my videos. I know that typically they don't drop down, but just to let them know that I love you, always thinking about you, and refer to us in our experience quite often. And I see more fire is in the building. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well today. I'm just sharing my journey, my experience of having pledged Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated 36 years ago today. Today is the day that we crossed. Now, on my campus, I don't know if y'all saw the movie School Days, but School Days, it was a little more excessive than life on campus, but it definitely mimicked some aspects of what it's like on an HBCU campus. And it actually came out right before I pledged, and it was cool to see it, the different similarities and differences as well. But um our experience was very similar to that. And the thing back then, when you pledged, if you pre-pledge, which you should not be doing now, don't do that. But you're underground, and no one knows what organization that you um you know try to get on with or anything like that. You're doing things, you exhausted because you're up all night sometimes and just whatever. But then, when you come above ground, it's so beautiful. There's in many cases on campuses, there's what's called a quad. And a quad is a central place on campus where, groups will get together. Maybe it could be a meeting place or whatever. Typically, I know on our campus, I don't know if this is why it was called the quad, but there was literally, I think it's like 3 or 4, like it was like a 4 buildings, and there were dorms, resident halls were, around it. So people that lived in those buildings, they could look outside the window and see what was going on in the quad. Now, even prior to pledging, I would see sororities and fraternities go into those quads and sing, step, do whatever. And it was always a great thing to see. And people would gather around, and it would be like in a huge circle, and they would be in the middle doing what they do. And so back then, when you pledged and you came above ground, and we had to wear the same thing. So when we came above ground, we all had white dresses on and black wool coats. And we had these they're like fisherman kind of hats. I forget what they're called, but they were red and white. And we had black heels, nude tights, or stockings. And, that's how we came out. Y'all, I can remember it like it was yesterday. I'm blown away that it was 36 years ago. I see Elevate with Vern. Elevate with Vern is in the building. Moderator extraordinaire, biggest cheerleader here on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness. And Wellness with Frugal Mama. Yo, your message this morning was on time, on point. Amen to all of the above of what you were saying. Thank you for your words. And I love that you are saying what you need to say and you still getting it in with the exercise. I love it. Um, yes, thank you for welcoming everyone. Elevate with Vern. Y'all, if y'all don't have her, if y'all don't have Frugal Mama, what you waiting for? Y'all need to get both. All of you. Thank you for being here. So, we had to, before we went online, we had to get a whole wardrobe of things. The white dress, the flesh tone stockings, black pumps, loafers. Remember penny loafers, the real ones, the burgundy ones, jeans, white button down blouse, different color sweaters, yellow, red, black, a black skirt. I think we had a denim skirt too. We had like a whole wardrobe because for the next 3 weeks, that's what we had to wear. And we all had to wear the same exact thing every single day. Look, you could not change up. We tried to change up, and that was not a good idea because I did not like those black pumps, and they're not the black pumps that we see today. Fly heels. Da, da, da. No, they was like low-key orthopedic looking pumps. And you 19, you want to be still fly with it. But pledging was not about that. And so when we came out, people are all excited around campus. They scrambling around to get to the quad to see who is going to be on that Delta line. Who is it going to be? And when they saw us come out, all 18 of us, y'all, it was like lights, camera, action. It was at night and people were just like screaming, our names, like, yo, like, go, go. It's like, it's almost like the Olympics when, you see your favorite person on the team, they made the team and you're just cheering them on. And you can't smile. You can't look at them when you're pledging. You got to keep a straight face and be focused on Delta and just, going through the process. So you hear it, but you don't at the same time because you scared. You got all your big sisters around and you don't want to, you don't want to flinch. You don't want to veer off or do anything. So you just holding it tight. And we're all in a straight line, size order, from the shortest to the tallest. I was number 16 out of 18 because I'm tall, y'all. I'm tall. I'm 5'7", 5'8". And it was just that moment alone was just like mind blowing. So the day before, though, we thought we was going to come above ground the day before, so we were all in one room together sitting. We had our slips on. Y'all remember slips? Do y'all remember wearing a slip under your dress? What? A full slip? Do they even sell those anymore? I haven't seen them in years. A slip. Imagine that. So for those of you who don't know, a slip is like a silky kind of fabric, and it's a very thin dress per se. And typically you'd wear it under your dress because, it gives you that foundation. So, your dress won't be see-through and it won't be clingy. It just kind of helps it fall right on your body. They have full slips, which is what I'm describing, and they had half slips. So if you just needed a slip because you were wearing a skirt, you can put that slip on. But nowadays, most clothes have linings. And if your dress or your outfit has a lining, you don't typically need a slip. However, I'm sure there's plenty of people that were raised by old school, and they probably still wear a slip with even a dress or something that has a lining, that's crazy. That's so wild. Y'all remember slips? So at any rate, we were sitting, in our slips because our dresses were white and we didn't want to get them messed up. And we could hear in the quad from where we were sitting the cheers of the campus for the other fraternities and sorority. I think it was Zeta, Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. It was Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. It was Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. and Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated that had also come up that day. I don't believe the AKAs had a line that year. So we could hear the cheers and we was just like, yo, like we wanted to see, because we didn't know who the other people were either. It's a surprise for the whole campus, but we was just waiting also for our turn, like, yo, are we going up? Are we gonna, come out today? Are we coming out? And then I can't remember which one of our big sisters, and that's what anyone that was already a Delta, we called them big sister. They had different names, different, big sister names and stuff, but they were all considered our big sisters. And one of them eventually later on, I mean, it was hours we were in there together. I'm talking about from daylight to nighttime, we were in this room just sitting and waiting. And one of them came in and said, y'all not coming out today. And we was like, oh shoot. I don't really recall what we did, where we went after that, but I feel like we probably went back to our rooms. And this was Saturday, I believe. It was a Saturday, I want to say. So we was like, dad, we not coming out. There's many reasons why you won't come out. Maybe paperwork, maybe approvals. I don't know. So the next day, and I believe it was Sunday, that night we came out. I got chills just remembering. And the pledge period was very interesting. I don't want to go into details. My line sisters and I, we talk about it often when we're together, with some, you know, uh some challenges, some fond memories, some not so fond, but we did it together. That's the point. But I do know, I to this day, I do not prefer the smell of peach. You know how you have peach lotion, peach candles, that peach scent? I don't prefer it. Our dean of our line, most gracious DP, that's what we called her. In the morning, y'all, we would have to get up early and go into her room and be like her alarm clock, but we wouldn't wake her up right then. We would have to hear her sleep and just stand in the dark. Meanwhile, we may have only had an hour sleep or so, and she always had like this peach scent, like peach fragrance. I don't know what it was back then, like lotion maybe or something, and I just can't do it. I just can't take it. So yeah, it was some great memories. And all of the ones in other fraternities and the sororities that pledged with us, we call them our line cousins. And we refer to each other as sands. We cross the burning sands. We also refer to the ones that pledged the same time, spring 89. So if you spring 89 in the building, happy anniversary and welcome in, sands. We are sands. We all cross the burning sands the same semester. So my line sisters, I refer to them as my sands. And again, I love them so much. I wouldn't have done it with another group because they were the best. Again, I didn't know all of them prior to our experience, and now they're lifetime. They are lifetime. Um, Loving myself. Listen, I was thinking about you the other day. I don't know if you realized, names mean a lot. And to have named your channel Loving Myself, for a content creator, when you walk into their live and they say that, that's powerful. I don't know if you realize that. And I said, when I say her name or his name, I believe it's a her name, it it's like uplifting. It's high energy. It's a beautiful thing. It's it's wonderful. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but it has impact. Loving myself. It makes you say that to yourself, like, I'm loving myself. What? So thank you for that. If it was intentional, thank you. If it wasn't, thank you anyway. And I hope you all that's in here understand that power of a name. I know some people, they name their children, different things to reflect different things. There, that's a little brighter. I hope that's better. I was crying a little bit before, when this live first started, because again, I was thinking about my line sisters and just the experience. So also, I know now they do probate differently, and that's when you kind of are getting ready to be done with your pledge period. And you do kind of I guess today they probably call it a performance. And it's like a big thing. I'm trying to, it's just so different now than when it was when I did it, because when I did it, our probate was on the was on the end of our Hell Week. And Hell Week, I don't even have to tell you what Hell Week is like because you could probably tell from the name alone. And Sassy is in the building, y'all. What you know about Sassy? Hello, welcome in. Welcome into you. Let me go back and see some of these. Oh, Elevate with Vern. No, you didn't put peaches in there. Listen, I know you didn't put strawberries in there, and we know why, don't we? Or have you had strawberries yet? Have you had them? Oh my goodness. More fire. I see that, the heart and the cherry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Hell Week is a time when we had to wear lace veils over our face. We had them pinned to our hats. We could only wear, I believe we wore black dresses, our black coats, of course, and our black shoes, of course, our flesh tone stockings, of course. Who wears flesh tone stockings? Listen, so my daughter, my youngest just recently graduated from Spelman College, and she low key was like, this is a sorority. It felt like it, they had to have things almost like a sorority, a white dress, flesh tone stockings. My daughter didn't even know what flesh tone stockings was until she went, because you wear tights or no stockings now. Our traditions have changed the way we dress. And it has to, things evolve. Just think about how women dressed in the late 19th century, the early 20th century, early the 1960s even. We don't Things are coming back, but I know they're not going to come back to, the colonial times and such, wearing different types of bonnets, or, the long dresses with the big wiring around it and all that. We're not going to go to that extreme. So things do change. So yeah, in our time, we wore stockings, we wore slips. Now they wear tights. They don't wear slips, and it's just different. But at any rate, for Hell Week, that's what we had to wear. And we had to wear gloves. And so when you're walking on campus, okay, so when we were pledging, when you walked on campus, if you and one of your line sisters or brothers, but your line sisters that you pledge in the same organization with, if y'all were in the same class, if y'all were going to the same place or whatever, you had to walk in line, and always in size order from shortest to tallest. So I'm number 16. If I'm walking with number 8, 14, me, and 18, we would have to walk in that order. So it would be, shortest to the tallest. And of course, when we walked all together, it was number 1 through number 18. And if you're leaving class or going to the calf or going to wherever, you had to walk in a straight line like that, in sync, like the army almost. Like you had to walk in step. And sometimes we would sing. We had what was called pyramid songs. When we were online, we were called pyramids. Y'all, it's so much. I'm not even telling you everything. Like I'm, as I'm going, I'm remembering stuff. But we were pyramids, and so we would sing different songs. When we walked all together, our big sisters would tell us, they might yell out a song or something. We had to learn a lot of songs back then. During pledge time when you're on campus, I'm telling you, going to an HBCU is different now, because pledging is not the same in that way. But you would be on campus and you would hear, guys pledging fraternity singing, walking. You would hear women pledging sorority singing, walking. It was always stuff. It was live. It was live, y'all. It was live. It was in our songs. I mean, when I think about our songs, and we still will sing gathered together and modify those pyramid songs to now, because we're deltas. They're beautiful. They're fun. They're good times, and I'm so emotional about it, because I always, when I think about it, and especially if I know I'm going to be gathered with sorors, I get so filled. But anyway, during Hell Week, we are wearing our veils. No one knows who's behind those veils. We have to keep them on. So imagine these like really kind of thick lace white veils. We could see out, but y'all really can't see in. And we had to walk, like we would walk, boom, boom, and then we would have to stop and put our feet and go up to the side, in a triangle formation, and we would have to say Delta Sigma Theta bound, and then we walk, boom, 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 Delta Sigma Theta bound, walk, boom, 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 Delta Sigma Theta bound. And we would have to do that going to class. Do you know how many times you are late for class walking like that? That is crazy. But it was it was symbolic. It was tradition at the time. And even when we ate, I can't remember if it was during the whole pledge period, but definitely during Hell Week, when we ate, we had to eat the same thing. Our number one, bless our heart, had a different palate than most of us. And I'm number 16, so I don't know what we eating until the plate come. Like, what? And so um then we would, whoever was in the middle would have to tell us what we were putting on our fork. And, say we're at breakfast and it's eggs, 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 eggs. Everybody could put egg on their fork and then Delta Sigma Theta bound. Y'all, when I tell you I lost so much weight, because imagine again, if it's 18 of y'all and you trying to have to be succinct and you have to do that with everything, you barely getting anything in because once the big sisters are done eating, lunch, breakfast, dinner is over. It's time to go. Come on, pyramids. It's time to go. I lost so much weight when I pledged. It was wild. It was crazy. But yeah, so our time when, like I was saying about the probate show. So probate shows now is like it's a show, and people get invited, everything. But when we did it, I mean, I guess our big sisters invited whoever they knew or whatever, but we wasn't part of that invitation process. We didn't have, it wasn't like that. And I know we had to, we had gotten our outfits. And so again, Lincoln University is the first degree granting HBCU to me. And I've been to many campuses around this country. To me, it's the most beautiful HBCU campus in the country as well. And that's because it's nestled in Amish land. It had to be in a safe space, a safe place in the country at that time, because actually it was still slavery going on when Lincoln University was founded and started. It was founded in 1854. And so it had to be in a safe place. And so because of that, it's not nestled like it's not in an area that, you know, it's just in a different kind of environment, because most other HBCUs are in like urban areas, communities, because that's where most people of color, Black people, lived. And so the schools were kind of built around where the vicinity was. And not saying that they're not great campuses, and they have many beautiful historical buildings, but they're more in like a metropolitan area. They may have lots of, like city environments and stuff like that, or off beaten paths. And it's just it might be even in like a little rural area. But Lincoln, even though it was rural, it was just it's something about that campus that's just so beautiful. And actually, even though Spelman is in kind of an urban environment, Spelman's campus reminds me of Lincoln. It's just that Lincoln's campus is actually bigger than Spelman's campus. It's not it's a private school, so it's fully gated all around. I always felt safe on campus, and I love that they've really taken care of the historical buildings. It's not one of those campuses where, oh, this building's old, we're gonna bulldoze it or whatever. No, they've been very intentional with keeping the integrity of those original buildings and such. And you could just feel the history, just knowing the great people that have graduated and done amazing things for the world from that school. It just fills you so much. If you are that deep, I'm that deep. So, but at any rate, we would shop. I remember we went shopping to find, you got to find 18 of the same thing, outfits. We went to, what's it called? And y'all would know it. It's like a Amish kind of area. What's it called? I can't remember. It's a shopping kind of place. Lancaster, Lancaster. I remember we went to Lancaster to find, outfits and stuff. And so we had these white pants, if I remember, red tops, and these red shoes. It's nothing like you see now with probate. Today, I mean, our probate show definitely was like a step show. So it wasn't just us, it was all of the other sorority and fraternities that were also pledging, that did their steps. They did their probate as well on that same day, and it was held in the gym on our campus. So it was people like old school that came, that pledged years ago. It was a lot of people there. But look, before and after, we were not enjoying that show. What? We wasn't there cheering nobody on. We couldn't say a word. we couldn't smile. We had to just sit. And then after we did our probate, we had to leave the building. Like, we left. We wasn't watching nobody else. And actually, one of the alphas that pledged the same time as we did, he actually had a video, and I have it on my channel somewhere. I think published. I think I have it public. I can't remember. I'm gonna go check. But there's a old video of our probate show. Y'all, it is something to see, especially comparing it to how it's being done today. That thing is vintage. I have to dig in my archives, and if I can find it, I'm going to probably, it won't be today, it'll be another time in the future where I'll, make it as, if you watch this, you can click onto it, or maybe put it in the description box or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, it was interesting. So after that, we probably were online for maybe another few days, just another few days, a couple of days or so. And then when we crossed those burning sands was, and mm, so uh, yeah, it was wonderful. I don't know, is, even though I, was very food deprived, I was more tired than anything. All I wanted to do was sleep, like just sleep. I have one line sister, and her name is Keisha. I call her Keisha Money Grip. I love her. I love them all, y'all, all the same. I do. But it's like with children, your children, you have different experiences with them. You love them all for different reasons. And that's how I feel with my line sisters. I feel so fortunate, so grateful and blessed that I have different relationships with each of them, and then we have our whole relationship. But I really was intentional with having some type of connection outside of Delta, outside of our line, just to know them as women. And so Quiche Money Grip, that's my ride or die. She from Jersey too. And so her and I, if we ever had a moment where, we listen, we tried to run away one time. We tried to get kidnapped. That didn't work out. Okay. All right. Oh, you know what? I think I got a phone call. That's what that was. I was like, maybe I said something wrong, because y'all didn't see me for a second, right? Or maybe I was frozen, or you didn't hear me or something. I know it. So listen, I'm gonna just tell y'all about this, and I gotta go because look, I got a late start today. Yesterday was a very long day. I think I know I told y'all I had to be on the road, like not waking up, not getting ready, but out by 4 a.m. So I could be at my father's by 8 a.m. so I could take him to the doctors yesterday. That was a whole nother thing. Okay, so listen, all we wanted, Quiche Money Grip, her and I, all we wanted to do was sleep. So if ever we were able to do anything, her and I, our other line sisters, they would be playing cards, drinking, having a good time, laughing, talking, boom, boom. We would be like, look, we sleeping. We would be in the corner, Keisha and I, we'd be like, we'd be knocked out. And so, okay, so that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to say that. So one day we was like, okay, we're gonna, I'm not gonna tell y'all. I can't tell y'all. My line sister is probably like, Sherry, what are you doing? Talking about our stuff like that on your channel. I know it. But yeah, we tried to get kidnapped, and it just, oh, not kidnapped. Just in case. I don't mean that. I mean, we wanted to not run away. We wanted to get away. We wanted to get away. And it just didn't work out. Not in our favor at all. It was not a good idea at all. So, but it was great. It was great memories that I have and continue to have with them. I saw them in October for homecoming, and it's been a long time. When I see them, it's very far and few. I don't go up north a lot. It's just not always convenient for me. And especially when my kids were younger, because, just think about it. Our homecomings are in October. So at first, when I'm married, October, that's football season. So I'm there to support my husband. Listen, making sure everything is straight with him and home. Then we had children. So there's a lot of things going on in the fall for young people. And then my children became very active in things, and I'm there because listen, they're young for a little bit, just a little bit, and I'm going to focus on them. And so it was hard for me to just step off. And now I feel like, all right, what we doing? We outside? We what's going on? So I was happy to see them at homecoming this year and just spend some, some a little bit of time. I didn't spend as much as I would have liked, but it was okay. I'm all about quality over quantity. So it was quality time for sure. And I hope to see them in the next couple of weeks, or actually next week, for another event that's going to be happening. I don't know. I probably won't see all of them, but maybe a few. It's always about quality over quantity. But whoever you have in your life, whatever organization you have, try and connect with at least a few people outside of just the whole group. You just never know the types of the relationships and commonalities that you have. I know when my children were younger, we were also part of Jack and Jill. And when we first got in, you're with your group of other women that are going in at the same time. And there was a connection that I made with, it was four of us, and we all had three children. And so we called ourselves moms of three. And we were like the most unlikely group or quad or four. And I told you, like when I rock mostly with 2 to 4 people. That's, but I know a lot. I know everyone. I'm cool with everyone. I can do it with everyone. But I always have that core of 2 to 4. And so we were really, really close. And I remember sometimes it's good like to not always share who you're closest with, because you just never know what may come up, and you might have to be like, yo, no, we not, that's what we not doing. But I just remember there was a situation, and one of the other moms in the group was like, "Oh, Sherry, you don't worry, I don't think you know her, because Charlotte is huge. There's many areas in Charlotte, and they're basically silos. So a lot of people don't mingle with everybody in all areas, which is so ridiculous to me. It's so ridiculous to me. And so when that person said that, I was like, "You don't know who I rock with. Like, don't do that. That's not what we're doing." And it was one of the moms of three. And I absolutely know her very well. You mad? So just get to know all different types of people. Get out of your box, get out of your area, get out of your daggone way for sure. Cause you just never know the wealth of understanding other people, the connections and how powerful they are, and how important they are. They really are. When you have a large network of people, you're never alone. You're never alone anyway, because God is right there with you. Like, that's why when I vacation, sometimes when I do solo vacations, people, never my inner circle, never my family, because they know how I do. I don't wait for anyone. If you can't, I will still if I want to. But other people are concerned, or what you gonna do? I'm never concerned, because I know God takes care of his kids, and I am one of his kids. And he has proven to me time and time again that he got my back, that he will never let harm or any danger come to me, and I work on that. That's how I roll. And so, but when you are moving about and doing different things in your personal and professional life, if you have to move to every other locations or whatever, being able to network and connect with different people will always serve you well. Now, you may not always know people right away where you are, but because you have that posture, because you have that habit of reaching out, of saying what's up, really. I lose y'all. I was getting a call in, y'all. I hope you can hear me. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, or not a thumbs up, but like a number one in the chat if you can hear me. I have to call her back because I just got a phone call. Okay, good. All right, all right. I don't know how to do all that. Listen, when the phone rings, first of all, I know I told y'all before that I was going to. Okay, I'm gonna call her back. I was telling y'all that I need to figure out how to silence my phone, or do whatever the mode is, so that you don't, it's like do not disturb. I don't know how to do that on my phone. So I see Geeky Girls Journal is here. Thank you for being here. Okay, good. You can hear me too. It's so good. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. And Ella Queen, salute to you. How are you? What's going on? What's going on? I need to check out I love your videos when you're walking through the mall and just being in another country and seeing the things that you have and the different foods, especially when you go to the restaurants in the mall. Love that. All right, everyone. So thank you for greeting everyone. Loving myself. Thank you. Thank you for that. So when you are used to, networking, meeting new people, putting yourself out there, really and truly focusing on the things that they're saying, not playing double dutch with it, just waiting to jump in and tell your side of it or whatever, you really form good connections, and that takes you a long way, and it makes you not ever meet a stranger because you truly listen. I'm curious. Are you curious? If you're curious, then networking is definitely going to be your thing, and use that in your favor, and you just never know when those relationships, will really be beneficial for you and for them. And always consider people when you have something that comes across your table, an idea, an opportunity, or whatever. Always think about the people in your network. I'm a proponent of sharing what you need. When I do an event, I always give people, and this is an activity, and I learned this from this networking group that I used to go to back in the early 2000s. It was called Women Network. I think they still are an organization, and they're nationwide. They're dope. Oh my goodness, I love that organization. But listen, when you would first go into the networking opportunity, they would give you a number, right? And then around the room, it would be 10, number 1 through 10. Around the room, it would be spaces for 1 to, 1 through 10. And whatever your number is, that's where you would go. And 9 times out of 10, you and whoever you came with have different numbers, which is what you want. You do not want to stay with the person you came with. You know them. When you go out to network, you are going out there to meet other people, new people. That's the point. What good is it to sit and have lunch with the person you already know everything about? That's what you gaining from that? Yeah, you might sit at the table with other people, but if you sit in with the person you came with, 9 times out of 10, you're going to only talk to them. So with this opportunity, you go to those numbers, and typically it was like 80 to 100 women that were at this event, and you had to do a elevator pitch, but it had to be your name, your title, your organization or business, and what you needed in the next 30 to 60 days, personally and or professionally. And whoever in that circle, and usually it was 8 to 10 other people in that circle hearing everybody's pitch. If you heard someone's pitch and you heard what they need in the next 30 to 60 days and you have a solution for it, you personally or someone that can help them. And I'm talking about, it may be, oh, I need a new roof. I'm looking for a travel agent. I need marketing. I'm looking for someone that could do headshots. I need dog care. I need a new hairstylist, whatever the case may be. Inevitably, there was going to be someone in that group that had someone that they could recommend to you. So what they would do is take their business card. Remember business cards? People don't use business cards anymore, which is crazy. I know the digital business cards are cool, but if you really networking like a real boss, like a real player, you need paper business cards too. Because this is what you do with those business cards. When you talking to that person and you know of someone that you can recommend, you take your business card, you write that person's name and contact information on the back of your business card. You would give it to that person and say, tell them I recommended you. How you gonna do that with a digital business card? How? Heck, 9 times out of 10, I can't even find when people send me their digital business cards or whatever. When I do it with the QR code or however you got to do it, I can't even find it. I can't even find it. I'd be like, who? I met someone, but I don't remember. Because when I get a person's business card, now this is what you should do. And I'm not telling you what I thought or heard or saw or whatever. I'm telling you what I know. And I know this. And so before my mother got really ill with ALS, and we were here in Charlotte, I was considered a networking guru. There's a magazine called Pride Magazine. If you're in the Charlotte area, you know Pride Magazine. Pride Magazine wrote an article on me about networking because I'm bad to the bone with it. I am. Loving myself. I am. So listen, when you meet someone and they give you, hopefully, their paper business card. I'm giving paper business cards business again, right? Okay, when you get their business card, you write down something about them that you like connected with them on. Write the date and the place that you met them so you'll never forget. Because hopefully you have a card catalog of sorts that you keep all of those business cards. So when you are looking back for some support or to invite people to something, I have an Excel spreadsheet with all my contacts. You know what I'm saying? But however you have to do it, make sure you mark the date and the place and what y'all talked about, like a key point of the conversation. So you'll always have that in mind. So next time you see them or speak to them or reach out to them, you could be like, hey, I'm Sherry. And remember we met at Boom Boom on this date and we were talking about X, Y, and Z. And, I really want to know more information about that. Or I want to invite you to this event because I think that it will really give you more information because you said you was looking for it. Okay. So when people are, networking like that, it hits and sticks. It does. So at that event, you have those first round of networking. Then you go to your table, it was a table of 10, and you do that same networking, same exact thing. So you've connected with 8 to 10 more people. And then under the plates was numbers, and everyone had a different number. So you do that next round. That's the third round of that same type of networking. When you leave, especially an event like that, you will have connected with at least 80 people in 2 to 3 hours. 80 people. 80. What? And all right, this is another thing. Whenever you network like that, you want to make sure you get the contact information for everyone that you encountered. Everyone that was at your table, everyone that was in those groups, whether they had something to give you or not with their business card. After the event, you send them each an email or follow up and just thanking them for whatever. Like, thank you for that deep conversation, or I really appreciate it when you shared X, Y, and Z, or I look forward to seeing you again at this, that, and the other. So that now you're part of their contacts too. I'm telling you, network is huge. It's huge. Yeah. All right. So I didn't come on here to talk about that. I came on here to talk about I pledge Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated 30. Y'all. I was grown 36 years ago. I was 19. That's grown, right? I was a woman 36 years ago. When did that happen? How is that possible? That's so wild to me. That is so wild. Time really, really flies. So I hope you all enjoyed this car chat and all that morning live. I am so pleased to have you all here. Geeky Girls Journal and Wellness with Frugal Mama. Loving Myself. Elevate with Vern was in the building. And Ella Queen Salute. Let me see who else was here. It was some really great people. Thank you all. Kim's Bling Bar. Thank you. Miss Kim's Bling Bar was in here too. I didn't even see you come in. You came in on the side. You did one of those like church lady moves coming in. I didn't see you. How are you today? Let's see. Sassy was in the building. Oh my goodness, y'all. I appreciate you all for being here. More fire. Left a diamond ring. All right. I got diamonds too. That's good. Thank you. And let's see. I know earlier I had someone else. Let me look. Sea Bass Productions. Thank you for being here. Is it CR Bass Productions? Yes. Thank you all so much. And Monkey D. Luffy came in and said hello. So they was probably just passing through. Listen, let me tell you, YouTube is no joke. They say we know who needs to be checking you out and who don't. Because sometimes I'll have where it says, you know what? Comment is being held for review. They already know. They're like, we ain't having nobody coming in here trying to jack anything up. And I appreciate that, YouTube. Thank you so much. And everyone, have a great day on purpose. Be nice to someone. Give them a smile. Say hello. Don't just walk by. You see somebody with something fly on, say, you look fly today. You look fly today. Loving myself. All right, everyone, remember, practice every day. Practice so hard that when you get into play, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart because you don't know who's in the building. When you get into play, you will always play to win. It's been my pleasure. I am Coach Sherri.